Hello class, welcome you all. All of you welcome to utilization of the electrical energy class. This is a lecture 2, video 3. In illumination, last class we have seen the definitions. In this class, we are going to see the sources of light, not all the sources. One or two we will see in this, and then in this lecture I included the laws of illuminations also. Yes, these are the content. There is two laws. Law of inverse squares, Lambert's cosine law. And then we are going to see the two light sources. One is filament lamp, another one is halogen lamp. Okay, first we will see the law of inverse squares. In this law itself, we can see the two terms, inverse squares. Here, one of the term is squared, that is related to the inverse. Okay, let's go inside the law. If you consider a source, is there, it gives some light, and then that light emitted in all direction. That source is placed in center. Okay, so what will happen? The light will be spreaded around the area in all direction equally. Okay, but the distance between the surface and the source will determine how much illumination will be received by the surface. If a source of light which emits light equally in all directions, it placed in the center of hollow sphere, the light will fall uniformly on the inner surface of the sphere. Okay, here we are considering the surface like a sphere. So the all direction of the area, the surface will be get the light. Now we can see this diagram. Here there is a source point, yes. From here the light is coming towards this direction, different directions. So here two surfaces are there. Here the surface 1, A1, and then here surface 2, A2. We know that if the distance between the source and surface it increase, what will happen? Automatically the light illumination will be reduced, right? So we consider this ratio, this distance R1 is between S and surface A1. Same like that, this is R2 between S and surface A2. So what will happen? In area A1 will have more illumination than A2, which means if distance increases, the illumination will decrease, which means that is inversely proportional to the square of the distance. So that we can understand this law, the distance square, the square of the distance between the source and surface is inversely proportional to the illumination. Okay, So here I explained in this slide. Actually, last slide we saw that there is a sphere. If suppose we keep some other surface, whatever may be the surface, but the distance between the surface and the source, it will play a role. Okay, so here this is the mathematical explanation. If we know illumination is equal to luminous flux divided by area. Okay, area means that distance square, and then here the solid angle also mentioned. Okay, here this formula is defined by the luminous intensity. Luminous intensity, we know that I equal to these definitions we already saw. I equal to luminous flux divided by luminous flux phi divided by a solid angle. Okay, omega. So now if you multiply this cross multiplication, if you do it, the luminous flux will be I into omega. Then if you cut these two, you will get I divided by R1 square, which means this R1 square is in the denominator portion. Okay, which means this is the inversely proportional. If you increase the R value, automatically this will be reduced. Okay, same like that in E2, that will be I by R2 square. So this is the mentioned by lumens per unit area. Okay, so this is the first law. In this we can keep in our mind, the main thing is the illumination will be inversely proportional to the square of the distance. Yeah, here it is given very clearly. Okay, as it is given, illumination of a surface is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the surface and the light source provided. So depends upon the surface, the illumination will be reduced, or you will get the enough illumination. Okay, so now we will see the second law, that is the Lambert's cosine law. Okay, in last law we just see the distance. Here we are going to see the angle, in which angle the light is coming, the ray is coming. Okay, we are going to see that relation. Here I didn't give any example, but we can understand by this diagram. This is the light source, and then the light source is coming from this source. Light is coming from this source. This is coming in an angle theta. Okay, actually this light falls on the surface on theta. How the theta will be created? We are going to draw the one normal, 190-degree line. Normal which we draw, this is the surface, in which angle the light ray is falling on the surface. And then if you draw the normal, you will get the angle theta. Okay, for cosine value of this angle, this illumination will be directly proportional. Okay, Actually we know that if theta value is 0, the cosine of theta, that cos 0 equal to 1. Cos 30 value will be 1 by root 2, sorry, root 3 by 2. After that cos 45 will be 1 by root 2. After that cos 60 will be, so if you see the value, okay, in 0 degree cos 0 degree cos 0 is equal to 1. Okay, so like this, if you increase the angle value, automatically the cosine value will be decrease. Okay, so you should understand the angle should be less, so the cosine value will increase, so illumination also will be increase. Are you getting? What will be the value of cos 30? 1 by root 3 by 2. Root 3 by 2, what will be the root 3 by 2 value? It will be 0.866, like that. After that 1 by root 2, 45 degree, that will be 0.707. It is again decreasing. At cos 90 it is 0, so the angle will be less. How much it is less, that based upon the cosine value will be increased. So based upon the cosine value, illumination also will get increased. Here in this formula, if you see here in this formula, we merge the both. In down it is r square, so that is a distance square, and then this is a cos theta. Okay, cos theta in second law, right? In second law the cos theta is directly proportional. Directly proportional means it will become in the numerator. Inversely proportional, that terms will be in the denominator. So these are the things in the two laws. Okay, we can understand this law. The illumination at any point on a surface is proportional to the cosine of the angle between the normal at that point and the direction of luminous flux. When you write the definitions in exam, okay, you should not change any terms. You can understand, but you should not change the terms, because laws and all, it is very important. According to this law, the illumination at any point on a surface is proportional to the cosine of the angle between the normal at that point and the direction of the luminous flux. Here this is the normal, and then this is the theta. Okay, for this cos theta, if it is increased, the surface also will increase.